Now, when it comes to this wide-barred, low-slung Softail cruiser, the big U.S. military-style star badging may shout at you from across the parking lot. But when it comes to the new Harley Davidson Softail Slim, the star of this show can definitely be found about 40 centimeters south of that 5-gallon gas tank. At the heart of this puppy is Harley's air-cooled, twin-cam CVO 103 power plant, making this the first regular production Softail in Harley's lineup to sport their very special high-performance power plant. That means 1,700 cc's delivering roughly 80 horsepower. In Imperial, that translates into two very large 4-inch beer can-sized pistons, generating about 90 pounds of arm-straightening torque. Combine that with a relatively light weight, around 320 kilograms, and you'll find yourself guaranteed cracking the throttle for no darn reason at all. Rounding out the tail of the tape, the Slim sports a 6-speed tranny and belt final drive. Plus, there's a pair of spoked wheels, single-disc ABS-assisted brakes front and rear, and an incredibly low saddle and those half-moon floorboards. And of course, the Get Noticed paint job. Sampling Harley Davidson's Softail Slim for us this week is the editor of Motorcycle Mojo, Glenn Roberts.
Glenn, I got to tell you, this bike arrived at our office yesterday and I was showing it off to all kinds of people and they were just like floored. Not a single person said a negative thing about the look, the color, the paint. They just loved it. What did you think when you first saw it?
My first impression was the size of it. I mean, a very low seat height, but you're right. The paint and the black, it's stunning to get together. The beige paint on the flat green and the black treatment all over, it is a stunning bike.
Yeah, and we know that this is a tribute back to the old military bikes from that era, and everything was black because they didn't have chrome.
Sure.
Now this V-twin is quite a thing. I was floored at just how much torque there is there in second and third gear. It's like arm straightening.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a fantastic engine. This engine has been in the past in the CVO models, and it still is in the CVO. But this year they decided to put it in a couple models, I believe the Fat Boy S and this Slim S. And the 110 engine is a fantastic engine. It's got so much torque.
Yeah.
I didn't feel any vibration at all in the speeds that we were driving. We weren't on major highways, but the vibration is down to a minimum. It's a balanced engine.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's fantastic.
Harley's been putting a lot of effort into their pipes lately. They sort of offer you everything from soup to nuts now, including glass packs.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of the sound?
I think it sounds great. I mean, it's probably at the maximum limit of what an exhaust can be.
Mm-hmm.
Harley does that. In fact, I've been told that Harley has a sound lab that if they can take a little bit of vibration out of a fin, they'll put that extra noise into the pipe just to be maximum, because that's part of their mystique is the sound.
Right.
And they play on that, and right well they should.
What did you think about the handling? It's got a really broad bar, lots of leverage. How did you find it for handling?
I think it's fine. I mean, when you're turned full lock, it is a long reach with the wide bar.
Yeah.
But I've always found the Softails to be fairly well handling for what the bike is. Mm-hmm. And this one's no different. It's just it's a low, long, sleek bike.
Yeah. Well, you
Beautiful.
said low.
It is low.
This is about as low a saddle I've seen on a motorcycle in a long time.
You know, it's just, I've got a 32-inch inseam. It's just above my knee.
Yeah.
Top of the seat's about my knee, top of my kneecap.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can just step over it.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So I think this will fit virtually anyone.
I think it wouldn't have a problem. The smallest person could handle this.
Yeah. So how would you describe the riding experience? When you're out there, we're doing 80K most of the day, we're on country roads. What's the experience as you're sitting there in the saddle? Are you getting a lot of wind in your face? Do you feel like you're sitting in the bike?
Yes, you definitely feel like you're sitting in the bike.
Yeah.
I mean, you're sitting lower than the dash, lower than the handlebars, and absolutely you're sitting in the bike. You do get a fair bit of wind because there's nothing in front of you.
Yeah.
The nice thing about that is that it's clean air. If you're on a bike with a fly screen or something, it's kind of gathering up that air and throwing it at you, or a small windshield with a fairing. Mm-hmm. You're collecting that air and it's throwing it at you. There's nothing here except for clean air in front of you. So
yeah.
it isn't that bad at all. It's not like, as I said, with a fairing and a short windshield. It's blasting it in you.
So what did you think of the overall fit and finish of this motorcycle?
You know, it's Harleys are second to none in their fit and finish. Their paint is second to none. Their trim, and of course, so their fit and finish is perfect on it. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see any flaws with it. The flat paint that they do is awesome, and everything just fits. Harley's well known for their fit and finish.
Yeah. Harley Davidson now has a lineup that's just soup to nuts, and since they've added the street, the lineup just gets longer and longer. Who would this bike appeal to? Who would you recommend this to?
Oh, the Boulevard Cruiser, I guess. The guy who goes out for weekend rides to work. You wouldn't, as I said, I don't think you'd want to ride 8 hours of time on it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no wind protection at all. A little bit from about here down, but the wind still hits your chest.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful bike. It's low, and I noticed when we were in Picton, there was people when we stopped. There was people looking at it and pointing at it.
Yeah.
One girl in particular, I noticed she was talking to her boyfriend or husband who's ever driving, and I could tell that she was quite enthralled with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, anybody who's looking for a cool looking bike who isn't going to be traveling across country probably.
Yeah. So in summary, great sound.
Yep.
Nice motor.
Beautiful motor.
It's low, and it looks great.
Yeah. What more do you need?
What more do you need? Great job, Glenn. Thank you.
Thanks.
That was awesome.